We're outside the venue for the Baku Chess Olympiad, the Crystal Hall, built in 2012 for the Eurovision Song Contest, no less. And, well, this time there are, again, lots more nations coming to this hall, no less than 176 at the last count. And, well, it's a really splendid venue. Let's take a look inside and see the playing hall. We're in the playing hall just before the start of the round, people milling around, lots of excitement already. Top pairings today in round 9 are China against the USA in the women's section, and in the open section, Ukraine against India and Norway against the United States of America. The Norwegian team are not playing at their best in this Olympiad, but they've snuck into contention, having won their last 2 matches and were just a point behind the leaders. They were heavily outrated by the USA, apart from board 1. Much would depend on the performance of the world champion Magnus Carlsen. He played a Scandinavian with Queen d6 against Fabiano Caruana. As usual, Magnus likes to avoid the heavily analysed opening variations. Fabiano played very solidly with white, not very ambitiously, and he traded off queens into an endgame. With the aid of some crafty tactics, Carlsen equalised easily and a short draw resulted. After that, it was tough for Norway. Sam Shankland destroyed Frode Urkedal with the knight off. Look out for his storming queenside attack. Then Hikaru Nakamura dispatched an out-of-form Jon Ludvig Hammer, who played a dull opening with white and was then completely outplayed. Wesley So completed the victory by drawing with Ariane Tari. 3-1 for the USA. Ukraine versus India was a tough match. The top 3 boards were hard fought, but very even. 3 draws resulted, so the match all hung on the bottom board game between Sethamuran and Korobov. They reached an endgame where the Ukrainian had 2 bishops and certainly the advantage. But the Indian succeeded in complicating and could have won an exchange. But he missed the chance. Korobov slowly took control with painstaking technique, and the Indian resigned, having lost all his pawns. Ukraine won the match by 2.5, 1.5. Over in the women's section, the leaders China and the USA faced each other. Once again, the USA were outrated on every single board, but once again they proved up to the task. Irina Krush put up the barricades against Ho Yifan, and the bottom 2 boards were also drawn. Could Nazi Paikidze hold out against Zhu Wenjun? The American was outplayed in the middle game and found herself a pawn down in an endgame with a rook and knight against rook and bishop. A technical win for the Chinese player, who with very careful technique finally forced a win after 85 moves. China won the match 2.5, 1.5. The Chinese women's team now in the sole lead with 16 points. They're a point ahead of Poland, and those 2 teams meet in the next round. In the open section, the USA and Ukraine share the lead. The USA play against Georgia. Now, on paper, the USA are heavy favourites, but Georgia have Badur Jabava on board 1, who has a phenomenal 7 out of 8 points. He is on fantastic form. Ukraine play against the Czech Republic, and they should be favourites there as well. So, the competition in the open section is still wide open.